And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Tuesday. The Bucks. Oh my goodness. If we were ever wavering after game one, all those doubts have been put to rest, and we're ready to lock in that Bucks finals prediction, I believe, today on the show. So we'll be breaking down the NBA games from last night, doing our moneymaker for tonight's NBA playoff action. 3 games on tonight. How lame, though, that 2 games are kind of being played at the same time. The Lakers Suns and the Clippers Mavericks are all being played at the same time. So a little lame. Is it the Lakers Suns? Lakers Suns? Yeah, Lakers Suns at 10 o'clock, and then the Mavericks and Clippers tipping off at 10:30. So a little lame there. Not loving it, but what are we going to do? So we'll break down all that action, do our moneymaker for tonight's games. We are going to be looking at weeks 14 and 15 in the NFL, picking all those winners and getting closer to those playoff series. And that's what we've got today on the show. So let's just start here with the stories of the day. And more Julio Jones saga continues, folks. So now the other players on different teams are trying to get in on the recruiting process of Julio Jones. Basically, it's seeming like it's a sure thing that he is leaving Atlanta. So, I mean, when you have a chance to go and get one of the best wide receivers of all time, you have to go and say and do and tweet and, say whatever you got to say to get that man on your football team. So it kind of started off with Jalen Ramsey, cornerback for the Rams, tweeting, "A winning culture, a great city, prime time game, LA's #1 football team, etc., etc." Sounds like the Rams should be a place superstars should want to play football, LOL. Blessings, hashtag yes, I'm recruiting, LOL, I want to win. So, yeah, I mean, he makes some good points. A winning culture. I mean, this Rams team, it's got one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're winning games. They're getting to the playoffs every single year. They're looking good. They've gotten to the Super Bowl in the last 5 seasons. So, I mean, yeah, that's a winning culture. I would definitely say that. A great city. I mean, everybody loves LA. I mean, that's why 2 teams are sharing one stadium. That's why, 2 teams went to LA. So it's a great city. Primetime games, yeah, I mean, well, I don't know the specifics of this. I forget how many primetime games that the Rams have, but yeah, I'm sure they do have good primetime games. They are one of the better teams, the top tier teams in this league. We know they're going to sell a lot of ad revenues and all that, and they also just got Matt Stafford, so another kind of huge piece that you can sell ads to so you can put them on primetime television. So Jalen Ramsey started off, and we got some other players trying to recruit him as well. Trent Brown from the Patriots says, "Come be a Patriot," all in caps, exclamation point, exclamation point. Not as kind of in-depth as Jalen Ramsey's was, but a solid effort there. And then Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens. I like this one. This is probably my favorite. Falcon, handshaking emoji, Raven, be a bird forever, and hashtag come to the Ravens. Yes, sir. I love that. I'm a bird, baby. I don't really want to, leave the Falcons, but if I have to, I'm going to still be a bird. I'm a Falcon, an apex predator bird of a Falcon. But now I'm 32. I'm aging. I just got to be that smart, sophisticated Raven, baby. The Falcon, it's all about, tearing it out with your beak, with your pecker. With the Raven, you're just playing the mental games. You're just waiting for stuff to come to you because you've earned that in your kind of career. Julio Jones, aging in this league, one of the best wide receivers. He's just a Raven now, folks. So we'll see which team Julio Jones is going to get traded to, but the recruiting is open and it's been going strong, and like we said, we'll know more on next Wednesday. So every day we get closer, expect more little kind of breadcrumbs on Julio Jones information. But we also get this story right here that I don't think we covered, but Julio Jones requested a trade out of Atlanta months before the on-air comments that were made on Undisputed yesterday that we talked about saying, I'm out of there. But let's see when this request of a trade came, because we've never heard this. The only time we have heard about players being traded was at the end of last season. Arthur Blank saying everybody was up for sale, and then a couple of months later he said, no, we're running it back. Nobody's up for sale. We're not trading anybody. And then came the Adam Schefter's tweet day before the NFL draft saying that if they trade Julio Jones after June 1st, that they will save $15 million against the cap. So we didn't really hear Julio Jones ever kind of coming out himself and saying that. I don't think we read any of those stories about that either. But now we get this article saying that he was asking for a trade months ago he's been asking. So let's see what we get in this article right here. Who's saying about this trade? So this is what we get. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Jones requested a trade from the Falcons a few months ago, and the team has since agreed to listen to offers from interested suitors. To this point, the Falcons haven't fielded any offer worthy of a deal, which is why the rumor mill continues to swing regarding Jones. Jones made his Monday comment because of the trade request, though such a request does not guarantee he'll end up having it fulfilled. So Ian Rappaport, the thing that they just cited right there of Ian Rappaport, I mean, he just tweeted that yesterday. This is from Ian Rappaport now, the tweet. Clarity on the situation between the Falcons and wide receiver Julio Jones. The All-Pro requested a trade from the organization a few months ago, sources say. We don't know those sources. And the team then agreed to listen to offers. That's how it began, and that's why it continues. So Julio Jones wants to be out of there. They said, all right, we'll listen, but, if we're not going to get anything good for you, we're not going to trade you. I mean, if we're going to get something worth the value of good compensation, yeah, then we'll respect your decision to want a trade. But if we're going to get second-round pick, garbage wide receivers in lieu of you, no, you're going to stay put. So, it does seem like Julio Jones requested that trade, but like that article just said, it doesn't have to be fulfilled. I mean, like, it's a business, and, that's one of the storylines that we all talk about all the time. Players should be doing what's right for them. No players should be doing right for the team because it's the business, but, they'll cut you whenever. So that, that aspect of the NFL, that business side of, we're going to get something in good in return from you, or we're not going to let you go. We don't care. We don't care that you serviced our, team and organization for your entire career. We don't care. We still want you, and you're still productive, and you still sell tickets, and you still make us money. So you're going to stay put ski. You got it? So Julio Jones wants a trade. Arthur Blank kind of said, we're gonna kind of keep things together. So once again, we'll know more on this next Wednesday. We already know a little bit more now because we know Julio Jones is not at the OTAs. I mean, if he was at the OTAs, we could put all this kind of trade nonsense to bed. He's not going anywhere. If he showed up, he did not. So now it's still 50-50 whether he's going to be a Falcon or be somewhere else. But we go to Chris Collinsworth Twitter now because of the news of Julio Jones wanting to be out of Atlanta. And Chris Collinsworth brings up an absolutely perfect point here. He says, I know how Green Bay could make Aaron Rodgers happy, ... And yeah, that's 1,000% correct. We've got this Aaron Rodgers saga. We just heard more information about that whole series and saga that we've been talking about. Aaron Rodgers unhappy with the Packers, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on the show. But if you get Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, an A1, Tier 1 Hall of Famer, yeah, I think we can kind of, squash all that tension that Aaron Rodgers has. So that's a great kind of weapon to kind of be like, all right, Aaron, I know you feel disrespected by our organization for some reason. I don't know. You never tell us, but you always, play these walk-around word games in the media to paint us bad. But okay, I guess we'll have to live with it. The diva of Aaron Rodgers. But here's Julio Jones. Can you shut up for can you just shut it in the media, please, and play football and try to win the NFC Championship game, please? Here's Julio Jones, because this is all we can really do for you. I don't know where else to really go from here. You got one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. So, but yeah, Chris Collinsworth, an absolutely great point here. Julio Jones to Green Bay would definitely make Aaron Rodgers, I think, a little bit happier over there. But, oh, no, those aren't the odds yet. Speaks of this trade probably going to happen now. Julio Jones getting traded from Atlanta because the Falcons just went and signed wide receiver Tajae Sharpe. Now, he hasn't had a really great NFL career, hasn't really found his fit or rhythm. He started his NFL career 3 seasons with the Titans, nothing good. 500 yards his rookie season, 2 touchdowns, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns his second year, 329 yards his third year, 4 touchdowns. So nothing great there. And then just last year he played for the Vikings, but only played in 4 games and only was targeted 3 times and caught no passes. So a real not really great there last season, a little injury as well. So he is coming back from all that, but what he did in college was absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is why he got drafted. In 2014, his junior year at Massachusetts, he did 1,200 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. His senior season, he did 1,300 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. So he can definitely put up the yards and the production. We've seen it, just not at the NFL level, whether it's scheme or fit, or maybe he just doesn't work out in the NFL. That's maybe a little bit yet to be determined. But with the Falcons bringing in another kind of tall wide receiver, he's 6'2", he's got some good speed as well. So with the Falcons bringing in another wide receiver, it is kind of becoming a little bit clearer now that they may actually trade Julio Jones, taking Kyle Pitts in the draft, a tall, pass catching option, bringing in Tajae Sharpe now, another tall receiving option. So we all know they've still got Calvin Ridley, who's still in my opinion, an A1 tier 1 wide receiver. I'm taking this man as one of the top tier receivers. I know he's young, but he's been proving himself in getting it done and still working with Julio Jones. So I'll give him that credit all day. How is he going to step up and be a true number 1 wide receiver? That's going to be his next step, especially if Julio Jones does get traded. But the Kyle Pitts pickup, the Kyle Pitts draft decision, the Tajae Sharpe pickup, it is kind of coming a little bit clearer now that Julio Jones is going to get traded. Now it just seems like, where is he going to go? And now we've got updated odds here on DraftKings. This is updated yesterday. Unfortunately, I don't know where everybody is finding these pages on DraftKings website to bet on, where does Julio Jones go and does Aaron Rodgers go somewhere else. I scour their website and I do not find any of that of the tabs anywhere, of these prop bets anywhere. So I don't know where DraftKings is pulling these out of, and I don't even know how to go about to bet this. But if you can find it, these are what the odds are. So we don't have up-to-the-date odds. These are from yesterday at 3 o'clock p.m. So these are the new odds of where Julio Jones is going to go. And the Patriots are now the favorites at plus 200. Plus 200, the Patriots. And that's got me scratching my head. Why would he go to the Patriots? Are the Patriots really that much of a Super Bowl contender right now? I don't think so. So is it that Julio Jones wants to go to New England, or is the Falcons business side saying, yeah, Julio, we don't really care where you want to go. We just want to get the best compensation, and the Patriots are offering us a first-round draft pick, and no other team is, so we're going to trade you to the Patriots. So I don't think the Patriots is somewhere Julio Jones wants to go, but I do think that the Falcons could make that business decision if the price is right. Then we get the Titans, the number 2 team, now at plus 400. So once again, that video of him working out with Derrick Henry, those odds are coming closer, are coming down a little bit more now at plus 400. And then the Falcons, that took the biggest jump. We just talked about it 2 days ago on the show. Julio Jones, the odds of Julio Jones staying in Atlanta was minus 145. Now him staying in Atlanta is plus 500. Jeez. Then you got Los Angeles at plus 700. Ravens at plus 800, Colts at plus 800, 49ers at plus 800, Vegas at plus 800, Jacksonville Jaguars at plus 1,000, and the Cleveland Browns at plus 1,200. What's real interesting about this list is that the Packers are not even labeled as odds in here. So that's real kind of interesting. You really would think the Packers, Super Bowl contenders right now, Aaron Rodgers, that whole thing, you would think that the Packers would be kind of begging the Falcons to do business with them by, yeah, whatever you want, first round picks, I'll give them to you, seconds, thirds, I'll give you 5 picks, I don't care. We got to kind of mend this relationship with Aaron Rodgers. So real interesting that the Packers don't even have odds on here, and real interesting that the Patriots are the favorites to land Julio Jones at plus 200. I'm not getting it. I think if they trade him there, that unfortunately he won't win a ring. I don't think this Patriots team is at that point at the quarterback position. Maybe the defense can kind of, leg them there because that's what Bill Belichick does. But still, at the end of the day, you have to put up points, and Cam Newton just doesn't do that. And I don't even think Julio Jones would really elevate Cam Newton's play that much. You can't really throw the ball down the field. So we'll see where Julio Jones goes. Like we said, we got about another week before we get anything more concrete. So we'll still be talking about these rumors and these little breadcrumbs that we're getting every single day. But as of right now, I would say that he's definitely not staying in Atlanta. He's requested the trade. They just picked up Tajay Sharp. The odds of him staying are at plus 500. And I really don't expect him to go to New England, but I don't know where he goes besides New England. I would love to see Tennessee. That's kind of my preferred destination if I could kind of, play God, if I could play God in the NFL and, move whoever I want, whenever I want to, to wherever. I move Julio Jones to Tennessee. I want to see Derrick Henry get that ring. I want to see Ryan Tannehill compete for that ring. So Titans at plus 400, still good odds. But like we said, we got about another week. Alrighty, so that's the Julio Jones update of today. So let's go to Aaron Rodgers update of today. So, SportsCenter personality Kenny Mayne, he ended up getting canned from ESPN because they don't know how to run their business over there. It's like every year, like ESPN is like, yeah, we've got to cut everybody. We've got to cut all of our personalities here because we are not making any money. And it's just I don't understand how the biggest sport, the only real sports channel that there is, you got Fox Sports. But, the most mainstream sports network, you can't make profits and you have to cut analysts back every single year, and you have to cut Kenny Mayne, who's been there forever. So they don't know how to run a business. They're not adapting to anything, and they're floundering. So that's my dig at ESPN. But if they would love to hire us, we'll take all that back. No worries. We can delete the episode, delete the segment. I've got no problem with that. Got no problem with that. But ESPN yesterday, Kenny Mayne's the last SportsCenter. He's no longer there anymore. So Aaron Rodgers, he loves Kenny Mayne, so he goes on the show, and we're able to get a couple of quotes here from Aaron Rodgers on what this whole thing's about, because we haven't heard from Aaron Rodgers during this entire thing. It's all been rumors. It's all been what Adam Schefter is saying. It's all been what the teammates are saying. The head coaches and general managers are like, yeah, we still want him here. We haven't really heard anything. So it's all, media information. It's all social media information. It's nothing straight from his mouth until last night where we get some quotes. So let's see what this man has got to say. So much has been made about Rodgers' perceived discontent with Green Bay drafting quarterback Jordan Love in the 2020 NFL Draft first round, but Rodgers, unsolicited, said it had nothing to do with Love's selection, but the team's philosophy, and maybe forgetting that it's about the people that makes the thing go. So this is the quote of Aaron Rodgers, folks. Buckle in, buckle up, and let's read this. Here we go. Quote, with my situation, look, it's never been about the draft picking Jordan. I love Jordan. He's a great kid, a lot of fun to work with together. I love the coaching staff. I love my teammates. Love the fan base in Green Bay. Incredible 16 years. It's just kind of about a philosophy and maybe forgetting that it's about the people that make the thing go. It's about character. It's about culture. It's about doing things the right way. A lot of this was put in motion last year, and a wrench was kind of thrown into it when I won MVP and played the way I played last year. So this is just kind of, I think, a spill out of all of that. But look, man, it's about the people, and that's the most important thing. Green Bay has always been about the people, from Curly Lambeau being the owner and found to the 60s with Vince Lombardi and Bart Starr and all those incredible names, to the 90s team with Coach Mike Holmgren and Brett Favre and the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, to the run that we've been on. It's about the people. So that's the quote, folks. So let's get into it, because I'm not understanding. We still don't know. And once again, it's just Aaron Rodgers with this word soup that doesn't tell us anything. And, once again, shifts the blame away from him, but never really getting down to the true problem, to the true nitty gritty of what is bugging Aaron Rodgers. So once again, we have to put all this nonsense on Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers wants to make this situation better in Green Bay, please tell us what the situation in Green Bay is. Stop telling us what it's not. Tell us what it is without the word soup. Come out and just tell us, man. Tell us, or we don't feel sorry for you. I've never felt sorry for Aaron Rodgers. He's always been in the position to win. He's just never taken it upon himself to do so while being clutch. So that's why we always kind of knock Aaron Rodgers heavily, because he is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it, but he doesn't win like one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So when we look at what Brady has done, we can kind of knock Aaron Rodgers, because we see Tom Brady winning all the time where Aaron Rodgers can't. So I feel no remorse. I don't feel sorry for Aaron Rodgers at all here. If the organization, if he's feeling let down by the organization, or he just doesn't feel respected in the organization, that's fine. Then go somewhere else. Tom Brady did it and won, so you should have no problem doing it as well. And I also don't feel sorry about this whole Aaron Rodgers not feeling wanted in Green Bay, because he doesn't tell us what the exact problem is. And you don't have to tell us. I don't care. I would like to know. But tell what the owners are, because every time we hear from Matt LaFleur, it's all like, hey, we want him back bad. This is our guy. We love him. We think he's great. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And, he's like, we don't even know what the problem is of Aaron Rodgers. So he is not even telling the organization that can change it. So I don't feel sorry for him. But once we get into these quotes here, it's just like, what is he talking about? So let's start with this one. Here we go. It's just kind of about a philosophy, and maybe forgetting that it's about the people that make the thing go. So he's kind of talking about himself here. Hey, the coaches and the organization and the owners and all that, they kind of forget, hey, it's the people on the field that produce the product, that go out and win the games. It's the players on the field. It's me on the field. But Aaron Rodgers, you don't win the big game. It's not you're not making it go. You're stuttering at the NFC Championship game. So it's on you there on the field. So you're not getting it done. What else do we get here? It's about character. It's about culture. Once again, bringing in that kind of, bigger God complex. Hey, it's about their culture, man. It's about their character. I'm comfortable in my own character, but it's about the character. The character here. Bringing up the character here it's supposed to make everybody question the character of the organization, not the character of Aaron Rodgers. That could never be wrong. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. He's a saint. His character is absolute perfection. It's the owner's character. It's the organization's character. So it's about character. It's about culture. It's about doing things the right way. Oh my goodness. Blah, blah, blah. It's about doing things the right way. I mean, folks, not everything is done the right way. It's business. It's society. It's life. Not everything is done for the right reasons. It should be in a perfect society. Yes, it should be. But that's not how the real world works. And you're naive for thinking and trying to kind of live your life that way 1,000%. It's about character. It's about culture. It's about doing things the right way. A lot of this was put in. Now, this is where I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. A lot of this was put in motion last year, and the wrench was kind of thrown into that when I won MVP and played the way I played last year. What? A lot of this was put in motion last year, and the wrench was kind of thrown into that when I won MVP. So you won MVP and you were playing great, but I don't get what he's trying to say there. I don't understand what this is trying to say. A lot of this was put in motion last year. A lot of what? A lot of because what he just said before that, it's about character, it's about culture, it's about doing the right thing. So a lot of this was put into motion last year, so he's feeling disrespected last year when he won the MVP and wasn't getting raved and ranted about because he won the MVP. Well, you lost in the NFC Championship game. I'm all about championships. I don't care about your individual MVP award. All right, congratulations. I want to win Super Bowls and titles and legacies and dynasties. You don't get that by just winning MVPs. Go out and beat Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game and not waste 2 interceptions in the second half. A lot of this was put in motion last year, and the wrench was kind of thrown into it when I won MVP and played the way I played last year. So this is kind of just, I think, a spill out of all of that. Because you won MVP. And it's a spill out because you're not getting praise and they're not actively sucking you because you won MVP. Okay, I don't understand what Aaron Rodgers wants. What more does he want? It's not the talent, folks. He's got pieces everywhere. Don't talk about, they're not giving him any help through the draft. Folks, do we have to go through who his weapons are, folks? He's got the weapons. He's got the great tight end. He's got the great A1 tier 1 wide receiver. He's got a great solid number 2. He's got a phenomenal running game. It's never all on Aaron Rodgers, folks. So I don't know what more he wants. Does he just want everybody to bow down to him whenever he walks on the grass? And if he wins MVP, he wants everybody to literally suck him every day of the week? I don't get it. So Aaron Rodgers, once again, with the word soup, I don't feel sorry. I don't feel any empathy for this man. If you want to walk away, if you feel not respected, then leave. If you want to leave so bad, then, just walk away. But this word soup and going on ESPN and, saying this quote right here that we just read, that I don't understand what he's trying to go with it. If it's about the people, then it's not about you. If it's always been about the people, like he just said right here, Green Bay has always been about the people, so why are you making it all about you then? You're not the only one on the team. You're not the only one disappointed that you can't win an NFC Championship game. You're letting down all the fans. You're letting down all the other players on your own team. So once again, Aaron Rodgers making it about himself while also saying it's always been about the people. So I don't know, man. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers wants. I don't know what he's trying to say here because he's never clear. He's always, thinking he's more intelligent than everybody else, throwing out this word soup to try to make himself look good by trying to throw in subtle digs at every single other person on this Packers organization and in the front office. So I don't like it, and I don't feel any empathy for this man. Go out and win another ring, and then maybe I'll be like, all right, yes, he absolutely. But it's not like, folks, he's gotten to the NFC Championship game these last 2 years. So I honestly don't know what the hell the problem is because he's not getting sucked every single day. Tom Brady didn't get sucked every single day in that Patriots organization. And look at this man. He never complained, even though he could have, and he kind of did a couple of times, but not as much as Aaron Rodgers did. And then, when it was time, he left and won a ring year 1. So go and do the same thing if you think you're that good, but you're not that good, and that's the problem. Aaron Rodgers knows he's not better than Tom Brady. He knows he's not one of the greatest of all time, so he has to kind of do whatever is in his power to shift the narrative away from, Aaron Rodgers flounders in the big game and can't win the big one and can't beat, his biggest rival and his biggest kind of competitor competitor in the greatest of all time category. So he has to go and shift blame and kind of take the story away and be like, hey, look at, oh, poor me here. I'm trapped here in Green Bay. Look at me. I'm trapped here. Oh my God, I get no respect. They're drafting quarterbacks, and that doesn't have anything to do with it, but they're not drafting me any weapons, and I've got great weapons already. I just can't cash in on 2 interceptions thrown by Tom Brady in my home stadium back-to-back years. I've had NFC Championship games in my home stadium, but poor me, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, I get no respect. I get no respect. I get no respect. I can't do it, but y'all know. I forgot who it was too. Damn, I butchered that. But yeah, I get no respect here. Blah blah. Please respect me and please suck me and please everybody bow down to them. I'm the greatest to ever do it, but I can't beat the actual greatest to ever do it head to head when his first year's in the NFC. His first year in the NFC in my home stadium, and I can't even beat him. So. Aaron, what are we doing, man? Go win a ring and stop complaining. You've got the pieces. Just because you don't feel respected, nobody feels respected in their job. Nobody. You go to anybody on the street of any profession. Do you feel like you get paid enough? Do you feel like you're respected? Do you feel like the company actually cares about you? No, and no. That's it. Those are the answers. So please spare us. Spare me, Aaron Rodgers. What do you want? What do you want? Like the Notebook. What do you want? No, what do you want? What do you want? So, no respect, and what do you want? That's that's where we're at with Aaron Rodgers. I don't freaking understand what this guy wants, and he never tells us, so. But here we go. Now there's odds. There's odds on DraftKings. Once again, I cannot find these odds anywhere, but they put them out here. The Denver Broncos are now the favorites to land Aaron Rodgers if he leaves Green Bay. So the DraftKings odds are Aaron Rodgers specials for 2021-2022 NFL season. The first team to play one snap. All right, so I butchered that, but Aaron Rodgers, which team does he play one snap for in 2020? Green Bay Packers is the favorites at -167, but then it's the Broncos at +140. Real kind of solid odds there, honestly. And then it's the Raiders +1,000, not very likely. The Saints +2,000, not very likely. Then the 49ers at +2,000. Washington at +2,000. Panthers at +2,500. Browns at +2,500. Dolphins at +2,500. Patriots at +2,500. But, yeah, now we're talking about Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay. We we heard him say, hey, I'm not coming back. And now these odds after the ESPN segment comes out, DraftKings says, hey, the Broncos +140. And we know they've got, quarterback controversy there, quarterback competition. And Aaron Rodgers is clearly better than Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater and will instantly win that starting job. And the Broncos would be, Super Bowl contenders instantly with Aaron Rodgers. But hopefully they just respect him. Hopefully they respect him and suck him every single day he shows up. So that's where we're at with Aaron Rodgers, folks. Nobody knows what he wants. The word soup, God complex. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. So I'll let him think he's smarter than everybody. But he's not the greatest of all time, in my opinion. So I hope that gets under his skin. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's better than you. You'll always be number 2. You'll never be number 1. Go out and win another ring, please, and then maybe we can change the conversation. But until you win another ring, which you will never do because you always flounder in the NFC. I mean, folks, how do you take your biggest rival? How do you let your biggest rival come into your home stadium in the first year that he's in your conference while throwing 3 interceptions in the second half, and you still lose? I mean, what are we talking about here now? He's never the greatest of all time now. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, but this is reality, folks. This is the world we are now living in. Aaron Rodgers will never be the greatest of all time. So go ahead and keep, try to, keep reflecting that narrative from hitting the mainstream. So you go out on, all these shows and make these quotes. So sorry, not sorry. I know y'all love Aaron Rodgers, but can you win, please? I want to see winning, and he doesn't win the big game. So that's Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know what y'all want from me. All right, let's keep moving on here. What do we got? All right, another quarterback to talk about here. Deshaun Watson. Quarterback Deshaun Watson still wants to be traded and won't attend OTAs. There's legal stuff to be sorted out, but Watson has denied any wrongdoing. His position with the team has not changed, and Watson posted some workout videos on his Instagram story last week. So Watson is still kind of working out on his own. He's not going to be with the team. He still wants to get traded. But what team is going to take Deshaun Watson at this moment? First of all, what teams need a quarterback still? So let's go through the NFL teams here and just kind of see, can Deshaun Watson go to this team now, or is it totally done? So here we go. The Seahawks, they've got their quarterback, Russell Wilson. The Rams have Matthew Stafford. The Cardinals have Kyler Murray. The 49ers, now that's an interesting decision. If Deshaun Watson is kind of available to be traded from the Houston Texans, do the 49ers be like, yeah, we'll take him, because we know they're not sold and solid on Jimmy Garoppolo. And do they kind of be like, yeah, we just drafted Trey Lance and we did just, trade a lot for him. We kind of sold out our future, but we can still get Deshaun Watson. Do we do that? Maybe they don't have enough kind of capital to trade since they traded away all their kind of first round picks to move up to get Trey Lance. But does Kyle Shanahan kind of swallow his kind of pride and be like, yeah, we kind of made the wrong decision. Something better's open, so let's go and get him. So that's something interesting to keep an eye on. The 49ers. The Saints, he could potentially go there if Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill aren't working out. Bringing Deshaun Watson, that's a great quarterback to have on this Saints team. Absolutely a great kind of big arm that can throw to all those great wide receivers that they have, and, the run dual threat ability. It's fantastic. The Bucs, they're still rocking with Tom Brady. The Panthers with Sam Darnold, I don't think Matt Rule is going to swallow his pride and be like, yeah, I made the wrong decision with Sam Darnold. The Falcons seem adamant on keeping Matt Ryan still. Washington, Deshaun Watson to Washington, that would instantly make this team NFC East champions instantly. But I don't know if Ron Rivera is going to have that in his locker room. We'll see. The Giants are sticking with Daniel Jones. The Cowboys are sticking with Prescott. The Eagles are sticking with Jalen Hurts. The Packers, if they lose Aaron Rodgers, I think they got to kind of do something quick here, because I don't think Jordan Love is panning out as well as they thought. The Bears, I think they're going to just stick with Justin Fields, but Matt Nagy, does he swallow his pride twice? He did it already by drafting Justin Fields after signing Andy Dalton, but does he do it again and get Deshaun Watson? Probably not. The Vikings could definitely use him. I don't think they're sold on Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins he's got a sink or swim season coming up. If he gets them deep into the playoffs, maybe they run it back with him again, but if he flounders, doesn't even make the playoffs, he's definitely out of there. The Lions, Dan Campbell, please, he's probably not even thinking about Deshaun Watson. He's probably like, Deshaun who? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. He's in the NFL right now? He plays right now in the NFL? For who? The Texans. The Texans, they're Houston. That's the Oilers, right? Dan Campbell doesn't even know the Texans are, the Houston team is the Texans. He still thinks they're the Oilers. So he's probably, Deshaun Watson's not even on this man's radar, folks. I can guarantee it. The Titans are still rocking with Ryan Tannehill, I believe. Colts just have, their Super Bowl contender quarterback of Carson Wentz. The Texans have Deshaun Watson. The Jags, no, they got their guy. They got Trevor Lawrence. The Bills have Josh Allen, and the Dolphins have Tua, and I think they're sold on Tua. And it would if I had to make that decision between Tua and Deshaun Watson, man, oh man, I'd be torn to make that decision. I don't even know what I would do. The Patriots, yes, anything over Cam Newton is an upgrade. I don't care anymore. The Jets, Zach Wilson, it seems like Robert Saleh is set on him, but, bringing in Deshaun Watson, definitely not a bad idea there. Pittsburgh Steelers, I think that's the best fit for him probably. Get 1 year behind Big Ben, learn the system, get acclimated with everybody, and then when Big Ben retires next season, you got freaking Deshaun Watson ready to rock. And, that's no drop-off. That's no kind of build without 1 year rebuild mode without the Big Ben. You're instantly going back to Super Bowl champions. So I think that's real interesting there, but he would have to sit for this year. The Ravens, you're not going to go to Deshaun Watson for Lamar Jackson. They're basically the same player. Just who's going to it's having an A and like maybe an A minus. It's like real close. Cleveland Browns are sticking with Baker Mayfield. Bengals are sticking with Joey Burrow. Chiefs, obviously, you're not trading in Patrick Mahomes for Deshaun Watson. The Raiders, I mean, they seem adamant on Derek Carr. They feel like he is the guy, so I don't see him going there. Chargers have Justin Herbert, and the Broncos, we know they're kind of still open for a quarterback. They feel comfortable with their two quarterbacks right now, Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, but, if Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson really, truly make themselves available, I think they really do pick up the phone and make that deal, make that call. So the Broncos, the Steelers, Washington, I would say those are the three biggest names in the three biggest teams that are potentially in the business for Deshaun Watson. He just has to officially be let go. And I don't know if they're going to do that until they have to, with all these accusations just being, totally honing in on being him found guilty, and then he gets cut from the Texans, and then it's going to be real hard for somebody to pick them up with that on his record. So, I don't know if Deshaun Watson goes anywhere, because I think if he leaves the Texans, it's because he gets cut because of, the sexual allegations against him, the sexual assault allegations. And then if that happens, I don't know if he can get back in the league with that kind of black mark on his image, but we'll keep an eye on him. Julio Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, all big question marks so far. Alrighty, let's go to some good news now that we've got kind of that those three big names out of the way. MetLife Stadium, home of the Jets and the Giants, will allow events to return to full capacity starting May 28th. So that's going to be ready to rock for the starting the NFL season. That's 3 days away. So they're going to be ready to rock for the NFL season. Full stands, full roaring capacity, and that's definitely what I'm all about. Let's get these stadiums back full, popping, rocking, loud, noisy, affecting the play. Having that true home field advantage back is definitely going to be great. And with full fans in the stands now, we have to are going to have to start tracking which players are floundering because of the fan noise from last season, and what players really stepped up without all that distractions from the fans. I mean, if we just kind of want to take a very small sample size of fans' impact, let's just look at what Julius Randle did in the Garden, folks. I know it's NBA, but it still applies. Julius Randle never was kind of this great starter ever in his career, but the 1 year there's no fans in the stands for the Knicks and he has his best season, but then the playoffs, 15,000 fans in the stands, and he flounders the biggest. He never floundered like that before. It was his worst game of the entire year, and the fans were in the stands. So now we have to wait till game 2 if he flounders again. I mean, that's just really going to seal it for me. I'll run with that narrative. I don't care. But the NFL, Josh Allen taking that big step year 3 with no fans in the stands. Is he still going to be able to keep it up? These rookies that were playing great, Justin Herbert had an amazing rookie year, no real fans in the stands. So we are going to have to kind of track that narrative. If we see a lot of the kind of great talent that showed up last year floundering this year because of the fans in the stands, we're going to have to really kind of consider that and kind of start weighing that heavy and start maybe removing some of the greatness that they had last year in 2020, maybe tamper that down a little bit, but only time will tell, and only fans will tell as well. We'll see who steps it up when the crowds are rocking and roaring. Alrighty, we get a first look at J.C. Horn, and man, the Panthers may have hit the home run with this, man. We've got J.C. Horn ranked on our big board as the second highest ranked cornerback. We got Patrick Surtain above him, But we got tape from practice here, and look at J.C. Horn jump this route playing quarterback. Look at that great technique, and then he instantly recognizes it, jumps the route of the ball for the pick, and man, oh man, that's some great play out there. And I know it's OTAs, and I know it's no pads or no full contact and all that. I get it, folks, but it's still impressive, and we've been, months without football, so anything's looking real great to me. But this is truly impressive, and J.C. Horn, man, for the Panthers, we'll see how he plays out in the NFL. I'm sure he's going to be a starter because, man, oh man, that was absolutely fantastic right there, that jump. But now, how's the offense going to look, and how is Matt Rule going to kind of command this entire defense? Yeah, this one corner is looking good, but is the entire defense going to be right? But J.C. Horn, rookie, out here getting it done in training camp. Alrighty, another kind of video from kind of OTAs and the first workload with everybody there, and it's with the Colts, and another reason why we are thinking Carson Wentz is truly going to get it done this season. He's happy. He's, with a team that loves to have him. So here we go. In the OTAs of the Colts, the first day, they had a game of knockout going around with basketball. So, just kind of build, teammate building relationship kind of a game here. So it's Carson Wentz and Mo Alley Cox playing knockout here. Carson Wentz ends up losing, unfortunately, but he's all smiles, he's happy, he's looking like he's having a lot of fun here, and that's exactly what is a complete 180 from last year with that Eagles team. He never felt wanted, he never felt appreciated, and I know we just got done talking about Aaron Rodgers not feeling all that as well, but Carson Wentz now has all the kind of all the talent on this team, all the kind of support on this team to really kind of, hey, let's see what you can kind of do. Let's see this kind of 100% Carson Wentz ready to rock, burning this kind of fire underneath him from last season of not feeling appreciated. So let's see what Carson Wentz can do. And he's looking happy, he's looking wanted, and this is why we think the Colts are going to be good this year, folks. They're just a quarterback plug and play away from being Super Bowl contenders. If Carson Wentz can stay healthy, he's already happy, and they're going to be absolutely Super Bowl contenders. So, love this video here. Love that Carson Wentz is enjoying himself here, because I do not think he was that happy and pleased in the Eagles franchise and organization. So, Carson Wentz is happy, folks. It's going to be a dangerous sight. Midway in the season, we're going to come back to this and be like, happy Carson Wentz is a danger to the league, folks. He's dangerous. Alrighty, let's keep going here to some more kind of quarterback news and quarterback competition here. In Denver, we got Drew Lock and Teddy B, but Drew Lock says here, zero time to listen to chatter about quarterback competition with Teddy Bridgewater, so he's just all locked in. So let's see what we get from these quotes here. This is probably, is this the only quarterback competition? We've got the one with the Bears with Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, maybe with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, a little bit quarterback competition here, but two non-rookie quarterbacks competing for the starting job here. So let's see what Drew Lock has got to say. So, or do we start out? What quote is this? Well, let's just keep going. So here we go. For Bridgewater, who's on his third roster in as many seasons, and Lock, who's entering his third season and trying to hold on to the starting spot, though they're doing their best to block out what all the chatter and focus on the task at hand, winning the Broncos QB battle number one. QB1 battle. So, quote, who's saying this? Teddy Bridgewater? Yes. All right, so quote here by Teddy Bridgewater here. What's so ironic, I saw Von Miller this morning when he came in the building. The first thing he said today was, you're here to play football now. That's my mindset now. I'm here to play football, and whatever happens, happens. I'm here to help the team become a better team. I'm here to help these players become better football players and men become better men. Whatever happens, I'm here to play football, and I'll take whatever comes with it. So we know Teddy Bridgewater has been having this attitude. We've read a couple of quotes that are kind of, saying the same exact things here that he just said yesterday. But let's see what Drew Lock is saying about it now. Tossed in amid all the competition chatter was talk of the Broncos being in the running to acquire Packers quarterback and generational talent Aaron Rodgers via trade. That came after an offseason filled with talk aplenty regarding the Broncos bringing in a veteran to at very least push Locke, if not supplant him. Obviously, that came to fruition with Bridgewater's addition, but that did not change anything for Locke. No, believe it or not, it was not because I decided that I was going to develop a plan this offseason. It was going to be really long days, but it was going to be worth every single second of it, because regardless of what happened, if I stayed here, if I left, or if they brought in someone else, my mindset was not going to change wherever I went. If I went somewhere or if I stayed here, I was going to be the guy. I put every single ounce in that this offseason. Being able to do that gave me zero time to listen to all this stuff. Maybe I'll go back one day, read and laugh about things that were being said by people who ended up being completely wrong. Okay, Drew Lock, let's settle down a little bit. That last kind of, sentence there, right? Maybe I'll go back one day, read and laugh about the things being said by people who ended up being completely wrong. Okay, well, first they have to be wrong. And Drew Lock, you've not really shown any consistency, and you showed a huge drop-off from, your first 5 games that everybody is building you up in a kind of, shortened season for you because you got thrown in the back half, to the season where, you were the guy. You went 4-9, you went 4-1 in those 5 games. Your first year, you went 4-9. So you didn't improve your wins. So maybe get off that high horse a little bit here, just a little bit. But they're both kind of taking it, one day at a time. They're both kind of, saying all the right things here. Nobody's coming out and saying, I'm the starting quarterback, hands down. I'm better than my competition here. It's, easy. No, they're all saying the right things. Hey, I'm here to compete. I'm here to learn. I'm here to make everybody better. So that's so far the camp here, and we have to kind of expect that to kind of be the thing that everybody says. But at the end of the day, time is ticking closer to that week 1 where a starting quarterback is going to have to be named, and whoever gets named that starting quarterback, this the second tier, the second string is still going to be saying these same things, but in the back of their mind, they're going to be like, damn, I did lose this competition. Even though, I was saying all the right things and being humble about myself, I still lost, damn. So they're both fighting here, folks. So we'll know a little bit clearer as OTAs and training camps really kind of, get into the thick of it. But as of right now, Vic Fangio does place it coming into OTAs as 50-50. That they're both going to be splitting the starting reps at 50-50. And then he also went to go say this of whoever is going to get the first offseason rep is probably going to be decided by coin flip, just because it's so 50-50. He's really not giving any of these players, any of these 2 quarterbacks an advantage at the start of the start. So it's going to be a good quarterback battle here, folks. And I'm definitely ready to see who wins it. I'm ready to talk about this Broncos team a little bit more in depth after the NBA season. After these playoffs wrap up, we're going to go heavy into the NFL season and get kind of right back on track. But let's start seeing some great competition here and see who ends up winning this starting quarterback job. All right, but we're not done with Teddy Bridgewater here, because last week we read the quotes of, what was wrong with the kind of Panthers offensive coordinator, saying that they didn't practice third down enough for Teddy Bridgewater's liking, and that they didn't practice red zone enough for his liking either. But his comments are kind of coming back to haunt him a little bit here. They were kind of, Matt Rule kind of replied and was like, yeah, I don't know where the hell that's coming from, and I'm a little disappointed in Teddy Bridgewater for, trashing our organization. So, Teddy Bridgewater says the comments about the Panthers' practice habits were taken out of context, in that Joe Brady is my guy. They weren't taken out of. We read the context. You said that you felt like that you didn't practice the situations that you struggled with in game time scenarios enough in practice, the third downs and red zone scenarios. So those weren't taken out of context, and these weren't meant as digs, but everybody took them as digs. I mean, it's just unfortunate. That's how Joe Brady ran the practice. Maybe Joe Brady felt comfortable with Teddy Bridgewater's success in practice, but maybe Bridgewater didn't feel the same way and there was just miscommunication there. But these comments weren't taken out of context. No way. I mean, we read the full quote. We read what you were saying. We understood everything you were saying. We agreed with everything you were saying because that's exactly what we saw from you out on the field. We saw you flounder in the 2-minute drills and we saw you flounder in the red zone. So that made a perfect sense to us. But now he's backtracking these comments because Matt Rule came out publicly and kind of ridiculed them. And Matt Rule really had no right to say that, in my opinion, to come out and say, he felt disappointed that Teddy Bridgewater would come out and talk bad about the Panthers organization. He wasn't talking bad about the organization. He was just saying, in an exit interview, that's what you do. You say, hey, what could we do better? All of this stuff. And that's basically all Teddy Bridgewater was saying. Hey, looking back at it now, the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, we just didn't practice these situations enough. If I could go back, we would probably practice this enough. But everybody wants to take every kind of, criticism as kind of a dig. And, no, stuff is just meant as constructive criticism. And if Joe Brady's not going to look in the mirror and kind of, evaluate Teddy Bridgewater's quotes, or if Matt Rule's not going to kind of look at himself in the mirror and be like, all right, does he have some kind of validity here? Is he kind of right a little bit here? Let me go see what Joe Brady's saying. Let me start seeing what everybody else is saying, because if you're not going to have an honest look in yourself in the mirror, then you're never going to get better. You're never going to improve, and the Panthers are still going to be trash this year. So, once again, we're going to have to look at the Panthers under a microscope this year. Is A, Sam Darnold playing than what Teddy Bridgewater did last season? And B, is Joe Brady doing enough there at the offensive coordinator spot? Did they fix anything in practice, or are they still struggling in the red zone and the 2-minute drills? So, only time will tell, and we'll keep definite tabs onto this in the offseason. Another narrative to keep track of. Teddy Bridgewater, Joe Brady, who's right, stop walking back comments, say it with your chest, mean it, respect it, and stop taking everything as digs. It's not. Alrighty, let's keep going here. A lot of stories to talk about today. All right, let's go to the Lions story here. Lions with, or not Lions, the new team, the Rams with Matthew Stafford. So learning paramount for Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford in first OTAs with new club. So let's see what this man is saying here in this article. Any good quotes? What is he thinking? First time with a new team here. So, with organized team activities kicking off, many a veteran is getting back into the familiar swing of things. But Stafford is drinking in a whole new franchise and happy to be back on the practice field, learning alongside a cast of fresh-faced teammates. Quote, the biggest thing at the quarterback position is just being able to get some of these mental reps, being able to get in and out of the huddle, learning the new terminology, and then see our plays develop versus different defenses. I'm just trying to learn as much as I possibly can, not only about the playbook, but not only about our playbook and how we operate and how we want to operate, but also to know my teammates well. So getting in the ground floor with your teammates, building that great reputation, building that kind of timing with them, learning the playbook, learning the plays. It's a new system. So, Matt Stafford coming out in OTAs early, learning here, wanting to learn, wanting to be successful, and we're definitely all about it. So Matthew Stafford taking the right steps here to get better, wants to learn, eager to learn, not only the playbook, but his new teammates as well, and a smart Matthew Stafford's dangerous because we already know he has the talent, and if he's smart, if he knows all the playbooks and he's feeling comfortable with his teammate, especially year one, watch out for this Rams team to have success. And we just saw Tom Brady able to do it, learn the playbook. It took him a couple of weeks to get it figured out. Learned his new teammates. The only one he knew coming into Tampa Bay was Rob Gronkowski, but he had to learn all this over again, and he instantly won the ring year one. So, Matt Stafford, it's possible for him to win the ring year one with this Rams team. The infrastructure's here, the talent is here offensively, the talent is definitely there defensively, and they've got, a smart head coach in Sean McVay. So that was everything that the Bucs had. smart head coach, great defense, and a good supporting cast of weapons. Now, the Rams probably don't have as many weapons as that Bucs team did, but they still, have a shell of what the Bucs did. They still have the blueprint of what the Bucs did to win year one with a new quarterback. So, Matt Stafford, the bar is there. The bar is set. Let's see if he can go out and grab it. Can't really raise the bar, unfortunately. You can't get better than 1 year in a new division. Matt Stafford, he's ready to rock. He's ready to get better. Ready to learn. Alrighty, let's head over to some NBA stories here quickly. Well, it was announced officially yesterday that Jordan Clarkson did win the Sixth Man of the Year. Not our selection, but is it deserved? I want to say congratulations, and I don't want to take anything away from him, obviously, but I don't know if it's truly deserved. I mean, he just shoots up a lot of the shots, and the fact that, they had 2 Sixth Man of the Year candidates together in the final 3, him and Joe Ingles, I just think it kind of takes away from what the Sixth Man of the Year is, a huge, great presence that's an extension of the starting roster, and really the best player on the bench. And if you have 2 of those players, that kind of means that you're deep. You don't have to rely on only one person off their bench. You can rely on everybody else, where all these other teams only really relying on one great superstar off the bench. And that's why we gave our Sixth Man of the Year award to Tim Hardaway Jr. We just saw him absolutely get it done in the first game of the playoffs. He is in the starting roster and is improving his play, and we thought that was better. But they give the award to Jordan Clarkson, so I guess we have to respect it, I guess. Alrighty, Donovan Mitchell will play in Game 2 Wednesday night for the Jazz. Well, yeah, we've heard this before, that he was going to play Game 1, and that didn't happen. So, it sounds like he is going to play in Game 2, but take it with a little bit of grain of salt there, folks. Donovan Mitchell, we'll see if he is actually good to go Game 2. Alrighty, let's go to this one. Bob Myers sounds skeptical that Klay Thompson will return by opening night next season. Quote, I don't know if that will be realistic or not. Mentioned that it won't even be a full calendar year since the Achilles tear, and plan is to ease them into action. So definitely not good here. We just saw the Warriors not get into the playoffs here. Now everybody is kind of, talking garbage about the Warriors. Steph Curry's going to leave. They can't win a ring. They need way more pieces. But, I feel like a lot of people are forgetting how great Klay Thompson is, and I believe this Warriors team could honestly compete for a ring with just the team currently that they have right now if Klay Thompson was, healthy and ready to rock. But everybody wants to blow up this Warriors team now. A lot of people are forgetting what Klay Thompson can actually do on the court, defensively, offensively. And it's definitely not, and this story definitely doesn't make any of that chatter better, because if he's not ready to go by week 1, game 1 for the next NBA season, that's just going to put all these questions right back front and center for the entire offseason of the NBA and, for the first couple of weeks of the NBA. So it's not great here that Klay Thompson's not going to be ready to rock by game 1, but hopefully they just get this man right, because we need to see him back on the floor at some point. He's missed these last 2 years, folks. How truly unfortunate, and he's one of the best to do it, man. So hopefully he's back as soon as possible, and please, for the love of everything, please, I gotta knock on wood 1,000 times before I even say this, but please, Klay Thompson, please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. Alrighty, and we got to do a little bit of a review here of what the Rockets have done these last 2 years. CBS Sports tweets out that the Rockets have traded or waived each of these players in the last 2 years. They've had James Harden on their team, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Clint Capella, Victor Oladipo, DeMarcus Cousins, PJ Tucker, and Robert Covington. All those players are currently in the playoffs, folks. So they had an absolutely stacked cast of elite talent on their team, and now what do they have? Kelly Olynyk and John Wall. They have Christian Wood and who's their other? Kelly, not Kelly Olynyk, obviously, or Kevin Hunter. I'm blanking on the name, but they've got a really good emerging point guard and a really great emerging big, but they've got no great superstar anymore. So we'll see what they do in this offseason, but obviously nobody's safe on this team. If they get rid of superstars, they'll have no trouble getting rid of, role players on this team. So the Rockets, man, how crazy of a 2 years. If you're a Rockets fan, I mean, how many jerseys have you bought that are utterly useless now? Jeez. All right, and then the last story to talk about here. Bob Myers again for the Warriors. Bob Myers said Draymond Green was in his office about 40 minutes ago discussing his offense and being more of a scoring threat in the future. So we know Draymond Green, he's not that big scoring threat. He doesn't take a lot of shots. He's basically like PJ Tucker, just getting it done defensively, facilitating the floor. Draymond Green's a little bit better at that, grabbing the rebounds, being the assister, being the general on the floor, the extension of the point guard. So we know that he does all of that. It's just the points are not that good. He averaged 7 points a game this season, 8 points a game last season, 7.4 the year before that. Now, his best scoring season, ironically, was 14 points, and that was the 2015-2016 season. And do y'all remember which kind of series against the Cavs that was? Well, that was the 3-1 deficit that the Cavs came back. So when Draymond Green scores a lot of points, they could be 3-1, coming down the stretch of being up 3-1 in the finals. So we'll see how Draymond Green kind of improves his game. He shot 27% from the three this season. He's a career 31% from the three, which is below average. How many threes has he taken a game? He took 2 threes a game this season at 27%. So we know he's not the best scorer, shooting 44%. And this is down low, folks. He's a big. He's getting it down low near the paint. So he's not the greatest shooter out here. We know this. But once again, just kind of this narrative of Klay Thompson. They don't need Draymond Green to be the scorer. They just need him to be the facilitator and the beef down low, the great defender, because you've got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So they don't need him to be the scorer. The only reason why they need him to be the scorer this year was because they didn't have Klay Thompson. So once again, Klay Thompson being out, going back to those points that we just hit earlier, that without Klay Thompson, everybody forgets what this Warriors team truly is, and then you have other players on your team questioning their own play because you're losing games because you don't have that scorer on your team anymore. So once Klay Thompson comes back for this Warriors team, everything, all these narratives, all these kind of storylines being drawn are really going to be put to bed because, you're going to be starting to win games more. You're going to be consistently hitting those shots more because Klay Thompson is there on the floor healthy and ready to go. So Klay Thompson is unfortunately the root of all evil here for this Warriors team because he is out and all the negative attention that is bringing to the team, and it's got everybody acting crazy. But the Warriors team is fine, and I believe if you just, like I said, if you put Klay Thompson on this team, they're at least top six seed in the NBA playoffs, and we're not having any of these wild talks about how Klay Thompson should leave and Steph Curry should leave and all this. Alrighty, those were all the stories that we needed to cover for today. So let's head over to the NBA from last night. We'll break down the games. We'll do our moneymaker for tonight's action, and then we'll head over to the NFL schedule and maybe also look at our NBA playoffs bracket that doesn't have to be submitted for another 2 days. So here we go, the NBA last night. Let's start here with the Bucks and the Heat, and let's go, baby. We are feeling great about this Bucks team now. We were a little iffy on game 1, but we kind of said it. We chalked it up as the Bucks not playing for a week, and man, oh man, they were right back on their bullshit in game 2, baby. They absolutely obliterate the Heat from start to finish, 132-98. The Bucks score like 50 points in the first quarter, just absolutely getting it done from 3. They hit 22-3. Bryn Forbes off the bench. Holy moly, folks. He hit like 4 threes in the first quarter. Absolutely stupid. But yeah, let's start here with this Bucks team. Bryn Forbes off the bench, 22 points in only 19 minutes on 6 of 9 from 3. He was just cashing, folks. Everybody was hitting threes on this Bucks team early and often and never let up their foot off the gas. And this is a huge, great sign for this Bucks team that they're back to form. They put up 132 points, and that's why we like this Bucks team. Yes, they've got the beef down low, but we know they're great at scoring the basketball, and it was on full display last night. So we're back. Our thinking is still right back to where it was at the start of the playoffs. We took a little bit of a potential detour. We started to look at the detour after game 1, but we're right back on the main road, and we cut off that detour. It's never coming back. We're back set big time on the Bucks. It was just, they didn't play in it for a week, folks. So, all right, the Bucks absolutely got it done. Giannis, 31 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. He didn't even need to put up the 31 points because the outside shooting was that great. So this was all luxury stats here for this Bucks team. But he shot 1 of 7 from 3. So let's not get too carried away. I know this game, folks, they were up by like 20 points at the end of the first quarter. This game was over from the rip. The Heat didn't even put up a total of 50 points. Let's go to... So the Bucks put up 46 points in the first quarter. They outscored the Heat in the first quarter 46-20, and then the Heat only put up 51 points in the first half total, where the Bucks put up 46 points in the first quarter alone. So that's just goes to show just how game over it was from start to finish. So Giannis gets it done. Great game. He shot 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Thank goodness that is back on track as well. So everything was great for that. Chris Middleton, 17 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot 3 of 3 from the 3 as well, 100%. That's what we love to see. Brook Lopez, 7.6 rebounds. They didn't need him to be the scorer. Dante DiVincenzo, only 5 points as well. 4 assists, 7 rebounds. He shot 1 of 6 from the 3. Once again, they didn't need him to step it up. The scoring was just so plentiful from everybody else. They didn't need him to get it done. But Drew Holiday, 11 points, 15 assists, 7 rebounds. And then, like we said, Bryn Forbes, 22 points, 5 rebounds on 6 of 9 from the 3. Very well done. Bobby Portis off the bench, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of 3 from the 3. Pat Connaughton, 15 points on 5 of 9 from 3 as well. So just the shooters were shooting. They made 22 threes last night, folks. So you got to respect the heck out of that. And this is what makes this Bucks team dangerous. The threes are here, folks. The beef down low has always been there, and it's almost an unstoppable team. Let me knock on wood, not to jinx our official prediction, but we knew this was a new Bucks team from last year, and I'm glad that we were right, and I'm glad the Bucks are up 2-0. Alrighty, let's talk about this Heat team now. Just real lackluster from everybody. They got down big, and this is not a come-from-behind team. This is a kind of, Jimmy Butler, his kind of competitiveness. It's great that he is competitive, but it does kind of seem to rub people the wrong way if they are losing, if everything's not going right. Jimmy Butler's not afraid to bark at you, and a lot, some people don't take that the right way. So that's just Jimmy Butler's competitive side. Like it or love it. There's benefits for both thinking, barking at your teammates when you're down, being that big competitive guy, it has its up and downs, but it was definitely all down yesterday for this Heat team. Jimmy Butler, 10 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Trevor Ariza, 0 points on 3 shots. Bam Adebayo not being that aggressive player down low that everybody is begging for him to be on this team. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Duncan Robinson did not shoot lights out from 3. Once again, why we thought this Heat team would lose game 2. Duncan Robinson, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Kendrick Nunn, 9 points on 28% shooting on 14 shots. Dwayne Dedman, who we've barely called all season, got 20 minutes off the bench because everything was so lackluster, and it turns out he was their leading scorer, 19 points and 9 rebounds. Goran Dragic, you have to put him in the starting lineup. Get Kendrick Nunn out of the starting lineup. The starting lineup needs to be Goran Dragic at the 1, Duncan Robinson at the 2, Jimmy Butler at the 3, Trevor Ariza at the 4 and Bam Adebayo at the 5. But having Goran Dragic coming off the bench is the worst decision you could have, honestly. He had 18 points off the bench. He did good himself, but he always does good himself off the bench. It's get him incorporated in the starters, get off to hot, good starts, and let this man facilitate the floor. He's a great shooter and can facilitate the floor, but getting him off the bench, it just ruins the team. It ruins the chemistry. It just does not work, and it doesn't make sense that you keep doing it. I hate it. And then Tyler Hero flounders again, 4 points on 5 shots, can't get it done. So just an absolute abysmal night from the Heat last night. The Bucks got on them big and early, and it was just too much for them to overcome. But well done for the Bucks. And we can go back to our tournament here, our playoff bracket tournament here. It doesn't have to be, picks don't have to be locked in for another day and 17 hours, so we will officially have to lock it in tomorrow on the show. But yeah, we're feeling good about the Bucks coming out of the Eastern Conference, and we still feel good about them winning from what we saw last night. So we're still big on the Bucks. We're not wavering off the Bucks. We still think the Bucks win it this year. And we'll see what happens tonight to see if we have to kind of mess around with this kind of Clipper series. I don't think so. We're still big on Dallas. And that's really the only other game that we are a little concerned about, I believe. Yeah, we'll see what the Jazz do. We may switch that over to the Grizzlies. If they win tonight, I think we'll switch over to the Grizzlies. But everything else is set in stone so far, and we're feeling good, and we're definitely back on the Bucks. So that's all we wanted to see last night, getting us back on the Bucks, and they did everything they needed to put all of our fears to rest. And let's go get it. Let's go get it, Milwaukee. Let's go get it, Giannis and Bryn Forbes. Let's keep it going, because that shooting performance last night was fantastic. And let's bring up Bryn Forbes, because this is what he does, folks. Last night was not an outlier game. It was not a surprise game. He's been doing this all season long. He's shooting 45% from the 3 this season. Absolutely magnificent. And he's taken like 5 threes a game. So it's absolutely fantastic. But I mean, just in the month of April, I mean, he's got some great games, folks. 30-point game, 10-point game, 12-point game, 14-point game, 14-point game, 11-point game, all coming off the bench. So we know he's got this great ability to shoot the basketball. And, it was on full display last night. But don't get fooled, folks. This is what the Bucks are, folks. They can hit the 3. They've got some great shooters all around the floor and the beef down low. So Bucks get the win 132-98 over the Heat last night. Alrighty, and then the Nuggets and the Blazers, and the Nuggets get right back on track, and, we like the Nuggets to kind of win this series, so we are feeling good about our official Nuggets pick. We do have the Nuggets in 7, but we do still like the Nuggets, and we are firm to lock that right back in with the Nuggets with the Nuggets in 7. So let's start here with this Nuggets team. Michael Porter Jr., 18 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He shot 3 of 6 from the 3. Aaron Gordon, 13 points and 6 rebounds, getting it done defensively, a plus 19 on the floor. You love to see it. Jokic, 38 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Once again, Jokic, the MVP, getting it done. Facundo Campazzo, once again, being absolutely fantastic. 12 points, 6 assists, and a plus 11 on the floor. We'll take that all day. Austin Rivers, still in the starting lineup here at the starting 2. 9 points, 2 assists. He was a plus 0 on the floor, so, not making a huge difference. But all the other starters we can rock with 100%, and we got great production and great plus-minus for the starters. And then off the bench, I mean, this is fantastic. This is what we need to start to seeing on a little bit more of a consistent basis here. Monte Morris off the bench, 12 points, 7 assists, absolutely fantastic. Kind of split time with Facundo Campazzo. Campazzo in the starting lineup at 30 minutes played. Monte Morris off the bench with 29 minutes played, and, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. They're both good point guards, solid point guard options out here. And then Paul Millsap also off the bench, 15 points and 7 rebounds, 3 assists in only 14 minutes. So getting him involved in the game is fantastic, and having that, a little bit of a deep bench here is, and they still don't even have Will Barton. So once again, huge good signs here for this Denver Nuggets team to get right back on track. And, we're big about this Nuggets team, again. So very well done. Alrighty. Let's go to the Blazers now. Damian Lillard, I mean, he did his thing, but, at the end of the day, it, didn't make a difference. He put up 42 points, folks, 10 assists. He shot 9 of 16 from 3. He made 9 3-pointers, Steph Curry-esque, but, it did not change the outcome, and they still lost by 19 points. So they definitely need other players involved in their team. Like we've been saying, their bench was absolutely lackluster. Again, we're going to get to that in a second, but that's why we don't like this Blazers team. We cannot count on their bench. The starters are all good. I would put Norman Powell off the bench. But we'll talk about that in a second. But Damian Lillard, 42 points, 10 assists. CJ McCollum, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic, 7 points. He had 13 rebounds. That was pretty solid. Robert Covington, 3 points. He only took 3 shots. And Norman Powell, 15 points on 0 of 3 from the 3. Just kind of getting it done from the field. No assists, no rebounds. But so the starters, just kind of, just mediocre. Damian Lillard doing his thing. But then the bench, Carmelo Anthony, 5 points on 5 shots. Anthony Simons got 3 points because he only took 1 3. And then Enes Kanter, 4 points and 5 rebounds. But we need solid scoring here off the bench. They only rocked these 3 players off the bench, really. Derrick Jones Jr. played 5 minutes because it was a blowout. But, I would put Norman Powell off the bench, have him be that bench scorer to jumpstart that bench offense, and then maybe move Derrick Jones Jr. back into the starting lineup for the defense or something, giving more control to McCollum and Damian Lillard and Nurkic to command the offense. But having Norman Powell, at the 3 here, I mean, it doesn't really translate to really any solid wins here. So I would say, I would probably change around the starting lineup, maybe move Carmelo Anthony to the starting lineup, and it's more about moving Norman Powell to the bench. Not that he's bad in the starting lineup, but the bench is just so trash. You have to get some production off of there, and I think we would unfortunately have to kind of move Norman Powell down to the bench, move maybe Anthony Simons. I don't think he's that great, or Derrick Jones Jr., who's had time in the starting lineup this season, and they were flourishing with him in the starting lineup without McCollum and Nurkic, and Derrick Jones was at the 3. So just, what they're doing currently is not working. I know they won game 1, but it's not sustainable, as we just saw last night. So this Blazers team, man, they're going to be, they could flounder. They could honestly lose 4-1. They're going home, so maybe they can try to get, this lineup back on track, but the bench is super lackluster, and when Damian Lillard goes for 42, it doesn't mean they just win automatically. Like when Steph Curry goes for like 42, I mean, it's usually going to result in a win for this Warriors team. So the Nuggets, man, very well done. You tamed Damian Lillard, even though he went hog wild on y'all. You were still able to get the win. So Denver Nuggets 1-1 series here, 128-109 win over the Blazers. Alrighty, that was all the basketball from last night, so let's see what we've got on tap for today's action. We got the Celtics and the Nets, and that's going to be an absolute blowout. We will swallow all those points, no problem. We'll probably even swallow some more just because. Then we get the Lakers and Suns, 10 o'clock on TNT, and then the Mavericks and the Clippers also 10:30. That's on NBA TV. So, unfortunately, 2 playoff games are going to be played at the same time. This is going to happen for the rest of the week, folks. I mean, it's annoying to see. Every playoff game should be isolated by itself on primetime nationally televised game. That's really it. But they moved the Mavericks to the Clippers to TNT or the NBA TV. Kind of annoying. Kind of trash. All right, but let's get this moneymaker up to date. Let's get these lines up to date, and let's start picking some winners here. We still rode with the Bucks minus 4.5 points in game 2. We hit that, no problem. Unfortunately, we kind of did not correct the Nuggets play. We wanted to see them get back on track. They did, so we'll keep that in mind for game 3. But here we go. Celtics and Nets game 2. Celtics +9, Nets -9. Jaylen Brown is out for the Celtics like we know, and Spencer Dinwiddie is out for the Nets like we know. So everybody is good to go for the Celtics and the Nets. So this game is going to play out exactly like it did in game 1, but probably a lot worse for the Celtics team. So Nets -9, no problem. This Celtics offense, Jason Tatum, he's going to have to keep up his scoring pace, but then Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker are also going to have to get it done, and that's just to be competitive. And then the other role players are kind of all trash. The bench is trash. The bigs are trash. Can't rely on anybody. So, like we said, I mean, this is going to be a 4-0 sweep, folks. This is not a competitive series. And look for the Nets to blow them out. I mean, we just saw the Bucks and the Nuggets all get better from game 1 to game 2. The Nets won game 1, but expect them to be better. Like we said, they were a week off of basketball, folks. These teams were all a week off of basketball if you were not in that playing tournament. So I'm giving this Nets team -9, absolutely. I'm going to buy this up a little bit more. Let's go to, can I buy it up to 15? What's Nets -15? That's what I'm looking for. Nets -15. Nets -15 is -230. I like that. So we'll take the original line, and then we're going to buy it up to -15 as well. So we feel comfortable all the way up to -15. What's -20? What's -20? Any good odds there? What can we? Oh yeah. Let's do this, because the most we can buy it up to is Nets -19.5. So let's do that. We'll take the Nets -9 and then also the Nets -19.5. That's plus 400 odds. Pretty solid there for to make some money. So yeah, we feel comfortable that this Nets team just absolutely blows out the Celtics. No problem. Alrighty, then we get the Lakers and the Suns. Lakers -2, Suns. What? Suns +2? Oh my God! They better hope Chris Paul is out. I know he's still a little banged up, but if he's playing, oh my God! For the Lakers, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are game time decisions. How lame is that? They're still doing game time decisions. We know they're playing. That's 100% fact. And then for the Suns, everybody's good to go. So Chris Paul, yes, he's a little banged up, but I'm not worried about Chris Paul not being good to go. And if Chris Paul is not good to go, okay, I still got Devin Booker. So yes, Suns +2, folks. Jay Crowder can lock up down low Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond. And then you still got, DeAndre Ayton down low. So the defense down low, Suns match up pretty solidly against the Lakers there. Jay Crowder, nobody gives him the respect he deserves for being a great defensive player. He can also hit the three. He didn't do that in game number 1, though. I think he shot like 1 of 7 or 0 of 7 from the 3, something like that. But we know he's got that ability to drain the 3 and defend the beef down low. So I can't see the Suns winning, or I can't see this Lakers team. The supporting cast is so trash. Kuzma's trash. Caruso's trash. Taylor Horton-Tucker's all right, solid, kind of. And Dennis Schroeder is just going to get absolutely locked up again by Chris Paul. And Chris Paul came back after that shoulder injury on the floor and retook the lead and made it big, like a big deficit. So I'm not buying into this Chris Paul narrative not ready to go, folks. I'm not buying into it. Give me the 2+ points there. I'll take it. They went outright. I don't care, folks. What can we buy this? Oh my goodness. What can we buy this Suns down to? If we're getting them +2, how crazy. Never would have thought that. We can buy them all the way -11.5 for -4 times. So we're going to do that as well. Freak. Forget it. Who cares? Nets -19.5. Suns -11.5. Non-competitive here. Blowout Central. And then the last game of the night here, Mavericks and the Clippers. Clippers -7, Mavericks +7. And the way that this Mavericks offense is, I'm going to take the 7 points if everybody's good to go. JJ Redick is still out. Oh my God, how lame is JJ Redick? Get in. That's why they brought you in at the trade deadline. And then Maxi Kleber's a game time decision. Probably not wanting to get, dunked on again. And then everybody's going to go for the Clippers. But I'm going to take this Mavericks team +7, folks. I think the offense is still great. It's still reliable. If you go back to what happened last season in the bubble in that playoff series, I mean, the Clippers only won because no Porzingis. Porzingis got injured. He's still healthy here. I'll take the 7 here for the Mavericks. No problem. Absolutely no problem. So we got a nice little moneymaker here today, folks. For the regular spreads, we're taking Nets -9, Suns +2, which I cannot believe. That's absurd value. And Mavericks +7. And then we also have some kind of, upgraded odds here. Nets -19.5 and Suns -11.5. Feeling real great about those teams to blow out their competition tonight. Mavericks also get the win with +7. So that's our moneymaker for tonight's action. All right, so let's head over to the NFL schedule, and let's look at weeks 15 and 16. It looks like we already did week 14. So 15 and 16 here. And then we'll do weeks 17 and 18 tomorrow, and then we'll get ready for the playoffs. So here we go, week 15 in the NFL. Let's start picking some winners. Here we go. Chiefs at the Chargers, and I'm going to take the Chiefs on the road here. End of the season, shoring up their playoff positioning. We got the Chiefs on the road. Bengals at the Broncos. Broncos get it done here. Defense, they probably are competitive this season. What's their official record? Yeah, 10-4. So they're going to be competitive, trying to get into that wild cards chase at the back half of the season. Broncos get it done at home. Raiders at the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns here. Back half of the season, shoring up their playoff positioning, fighting for that wild card spot with this Broncos team. I'll take the Browns at home. Patriots at the Colts. Both teams coming off of a bye, which is an easy pick for us. Colts get it done at home. Jets at the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off of a bye. We'll take the Dolphins there. Division rivalry. Great defense going against Robert Saleh and rookie quarterback there, Zach Wilson. I'll take the Dolphins at home. Texans at the Jags. I'll take the Jags here at home. We don't know what's going on with this Texans team. We heard Deshaun Watson still wants out, so we'll go the Jags there. Titans at the Steelers. This one's going to be a good one as well, but I think I'm going to go with the Steelers here. The defense at home gets it done. The run game, both going at each other. This one's going to be great. Najee Harris versus Derrick Henry. Old school versus new school. And Derrick Henry's not even that old school, but, compared to Najee Harris, he's a little old school, and they're both physical, big runners. And we'll see, who gets the upper hand in their first meeting in the league. Cannot wait for that. Then we get the Panthers at the Bills. Going to go with the Bills here. Bills defense gets it done at home, back half of the season. Packers at the Ravens, and I'm going to go with the Ravens here. A little bit of an upset over the Packers, but I'll have the Ravens win it here down the stretch at home. Falcons at the 49ers. I'm going to go with the... tough one here. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I think losing Julio Jones is really gonna be a big blow to this Falcons team in the grand scheme of their offense, but we'll see how they pan out. I'll have the 49ers winning at home. The defense is gonna be good this year, folks. Saints at the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks here at home. I don't know. I think this Saints team is going to take a big step back this season in terms of quarterback play. So we'll take the Bucks defense at home. Then we get Washington football team and Eagles at home. I'll take the Eagles here just because they're off of a bye at home. I'll give them a nice win there. Cowboys at the Giants. Giants at home in a division rivalry. We'll give it to the Giants. Cardinals at the Lions. Easy there, Cardinals. Lions are going 0-17. No doubt, folks. You can bet it. It's on DraftKings. I found that prop bet when we were looking for those Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones prop bets. I found the odds of the Lions going 0-17. You can bet on that, so I would bet on that if I were y'all. Seahawks at Rams. Once again, division rivalry. We will go to Rams at home for that one. And then the Vikings at the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears. The Bears defense gets it done. And this Vikings offense is just never great. And, they kind of always flounder in the big games. And this one's week 15, back end of the season, playoff push time. I don't see it happening for the Vikings. Alrighty, so that's week 15. So now let's go to week 16 now. Here we go. Ravens at the Bengals, and I'm going to take the Ravens here on the road. Bengals, I don't know if they're ready to take that step, and like we said, Joe Burrow going against this Ravens defense. Good luck with that, kid. Good luck with that. If you don't have PTSD from your injury last season, it's going to be showing up in this game with that great Ravens defense. Then we get the Steelers at the Chiefs, and man, oh man, that one's going to be a good one. But just offensively, I don't think Big Ben's going to be able to keep up pace with Patrick Mahomes here at Week 16. That arm is going to flounder, and definitely should be, starting to flounder here and starting to show signs of wear and tear Week 16. Jaguars at the Jets. I'm going to give it to the Jets here. Nice this is going to be a real test for both of these teams at Week 16. You face hard teams all season long, but rookie head coach and rookie quarterback for the Jets, rookie head coach and rookie quarterback here for the Jags. Let's see who's really learned the most, and let's see who goes out and wins. So this is going to be a real interesting game to just gauge how their year one has been for both of these teams. So watch out for this game in Week 16. Bills at the Patriots. I'm going to give it to the Bills here. I don't think this Patriots offense is going to be that great. I don't think Julio Jones goes there, and I do not think that Cam Newton can get it done offensively. So I'll have the Bills defense smothering the Patriots at home. Broncos at the Raiders. I'm going to give this one to the Raiders at home. Maybe some magic happens that, sparks this Raiders team to still be solid all year long. But I'll have them at home. I'll give them a win. Chargers at the Texans. Chargers get it done on the road. No problem there. 49ers at the Titans. And I'm going to go the Titans here. The running game, Derrick Henry gets it done and tries to kind of claw their way into a playoff game here for the Titans. Colts at the Cardinals, and I'm giving it to the Colts, man. I really love this Colts team. I talk about them every day. I freaking love them. Browns at the Packers. I'll give it to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers against, Baker Mayfield. No contest. Alrighty. Dolphins at the Saints, and I'm going to give it to the Dolphins here. I do not think the quarterbacks of the Saints are going to be that great. I think they'll be solid. I don't think they'll be that great, and we know this Dolphins defense is real good. Washington at the Cowboys, real kind of, nice rivalry division game here at the back half of the season, but I love this Washington defense, and it's Dan Campbell with a bunch of rookies and garbage players from last year. It's not working, the defense. Giants at the Eagles. I'm going to give the Eagles a win here. Nick Sirianni figuring out here in the back half of the season. I'll give them a win at home. Lions at the Falcons. That's an easy win for the Falcons. It's probably 50-0. Bet every single penny you have on the Falcons in that game when it comes to Week 16. Bucks at the Panthers, and I will give it to the Bucks here. Sam Darnold not going to be good here against the Bucks, and they have history. Bucks defense gets it done. Then the Bears at the Seahawks. We'll give it to the Seahawks in the last game of Week 16. Rams at the Vikings, and we're going to give it to the Rams here. So 16 weeks in the books here in the NFL season, so let's see how the standings look out. Top of the AFC North, Steelers at 11-4, Browns at 10-6. Top of the AFC South, Colts at 15-0, Titans at 7-8 at number 2. Top of the AFC East is the Bills at 12-3. The Dolphins are also 12-3. The Bills have the tiebreaker. Top of the AFC West is the Chiefs at 15-0, but the Broncos right behind them at 10-5. Top of the NFC North is the Packers at 9-6 and the Bears at number 2 at 7-8. Top of the NFC South is the Bucks at 10-5, but the Falcons are also 10-5. Bucks have the tiebreaker. Top of the NFC East is Washington at 9-6. The Giants are also 9-6. Washington has the tiebreaker. And the top of the NFC West is the Rams at 12-3. The Seahawks are 10-5. The Cardinals are 10-5. And the 49ers are 8-7. So that's how we see it happening 16 weeks in. We'll do weeks 17 and 18 tomorrow, and then we'll start getting into, the playoffs, folks. So going to be a great one. So that's where we will leave the NFL season for now. And that's where we're going to end the show. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Let's see if anything has been breaking as we were live. Has Julio Jones been dealt? Has that been said? Has not, it looks like. Alrighty, does not seem anything has been breaking. Alrighty, folks, so playoffs tonight. Enjoy it. Gonna be some good games here. Let's see what the Clippers can do. Let's see, maybe the Lakers can do something. I don't think so, but we'll see. Alrighty, so we are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.